All righty, we are live. It's so good to see you.
Yeah,
And
good morning.
we have it hasn't been canceled. No, it hasn't been canceled. So that's good. I don't know if there was like some confusion with the timing because I know you messaged me a little bit earlier about whether there was something wrong with the time of it. So I hope it wasn't all messed up as far as time.
Yeah, something has changed because when I schedule it, it normally comes up in my time zone and it was coming out with weird times. And I'm just like I was hoping it was right. But last night I was sitting on the couch with my hubby. I'm like in my pajamas, in my dressing gown on the couch with my coloring
Yeah.
iPad. And I was like, my stream's on in 11 minutes. It
Oh
was like
no.
nearly 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, this is not right.
That's not right. Absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It
I
just
don't
totally
know.
threw me.
Yeah, if you guys are in the comments and you saw a weird like start time on your end, definitely let me know because I checked it on my end and I don't know, somehow my time zone got changed or, I'll look into it if it showed up. It was supposed to be like 5:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Hmm.
And then that would be what, 10:30 a.m.
In
Saturday.
Melbourne. Yes, that's
Melbourne.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
this all seems to have worked, but my times were out for some reason. I
Yeah.
have no idea what was wrong. So
Well, we're here. So hi, Lynn.
yeah.
Good to see you here. That's awesome. So did you get a chance to watch last week with Rose and I?
I did. I'm so sorry I missed that.
No,
Yeah,
I mean we
kind of
totally.
life happens. Yeah,
Oh,
she was wonderful. She had some great advice, but I'm sorry she called you Lindy.
oh, you know what? I was laughing like because I corrected her partway through, and then she kept calling me Lindy, and then she was laughing
Yeah.
like at the very end. She started catching herself, so it was pretty funny.
Oh, well.
But
Yeah.
it was like a personal coaching session for you.
Yes.
It was like,
Yes.
yeah, she's so good, and I think she did like setting really realistic goals. I think it's almost like she kind of gave me permission to set just little small goals for myself. And like when by the time we ended, I had agreed to do the resistance bands.
Mhm.
Um, and I did. I mean, I was super. I mean, she said to do it like three days of the week, and for I think she said like 3 minutes, and I ended up doing like 5 days, and I wasn't able to do a full 3 minutes,
Right.
but I was able to do more than I thought I would, and I'm glad I did it. And so it was like, okay, I can. That's a bite I can take, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad too that she's in the moderator for our fitness group for our Healing Humanity Life membership site, and I think that she's gonna be a really great group moderator for that group.
Yeah, she's already put some motivational quotes up there, which I've hearted already because I thought, wow, this is really good. This is what
Yeah,
I need to keep me on track. Because
yeah,
yes, it's so easy just to fall off and just to feel demoted, motivated when things happen in life. And
that's
if
right.
I
That's
tend
right.
to set my goals really high, it's like I'm going to do this 5 days a week, and I'm going to do this, and then when you don't do it, you feel like a failure, and then it just crushes you for the rest of the week. Because
Right. I
yeah.
loved the quote that she left, was it Wednesday, that she said that if all you have is 40% to give and you give that 40% for that day, you've given 100%. I
Yes.
was like, "Oh, I
Beautiful.
love that. Love
Yes.
that." So, oh, Doctor Nelson, yes, he did. He thought that I was
Yeah.
new in Austin. That's okay. You know what? That's all right. And it's funny because it's not like he even knew me, so he wasn't, like, knowing I'm Lynn and calling me Lindy. He walked up to me and thought I was you.
Yeah.
So but you know what? Once you see us, like, if you see us standing side by side, you'll see, like, her hair is a lot blonder. I'm 5'8", and you're how
Yeah,
tall are you?
5'4".
5'4", yeah,
Yeah.
so there's definitely a difference, but that's
Yeah.
okay. I don't mind being mistaken for Lindy because Lindy's
Oh, thank you.
amazing. Yeah, so but yeah, and so we're gonna actually have been communicating with Rose behind the scenes. We're gonna be scheduling a Zoom meeting in the fitness group. Um, and so we're Adam's got to do an update on the Zoom, so I can't schedule it yet. So it's probably not going to be till the first week of September. But I'm super excited because we're going to be able to actually, have the Zoom meetings and talk with her and meet each other who are in that group and help motivate each other that way as well. So, but you had a really rough week,
Mm.
and oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessie Jude. Yeah, my week's been a little bit off. I failed the challenge big time. I didn't do it once this week. Just a lot of stuff going on at home. Got some bad news about my daughter, and that's kind of thrown me for a
Yeah,
six. And I'm trying to find my feet with it all and try and get into some kind of routine. So my self care. This is, I guess, what happened with my mum when she was diagnosed with cancer. My focus was on mum and just looking after her, and my self-care went out the window because my mission was to make mum's life as comfortable as she, could be. And
right,
that's kind of happened again with my daughter. She's been type 1 diabetic for 23 years, and she had problems with her eyes in February. She's been through multiple surgeries, and we just got the news that she will never regain her sight back. So she's been declared totally blind now. She's only 33 years old,
mm,
and that's just broken my heart, just thinking my daughter's never going to see my face again. And, I've
yeah,
been in a bit of a slump. So
yeah,
my self care has gone out the window. I've been down there pretty much every day of the week, trying to help her find her feet as she deals with this news. We
yeah,
kind of assumed after the surgery she'd get some vision back and be able to drive again, but it's
right,
not going to happen. And then we just had people coming, mobility specialists to talk about the canes and making her computer accessible and doing things on the telephone to try and get her independence back because she owns her own business. She's a florist by trade.
right.
And so it's basically, yeah, her
Yeah,
whole life has to change now. So,
absolutely. I grew up with my mom. One of her best friends was blind. And
mm,
I know it's different when you lose your eyesight early on. I mean, she lost her eyesight as a very young child. But I remember how amazing she was. And nothing would hold her back from doing anything that she wanted to do.
yeah,
And part of that was because of the great resources, that were available to help her. And then her steel determination. She was just a super feisty, stubborn, woman, and nothing was going to
yes,
stop her. And so I hope that your daughter will get to the point, like once the shock and everything wears off and she has that support around her, that she'll start to become really independent and confident in herself, you know. But I'm
yeah,
sure it'll take time. It's, you spent 33 years, right, with seeing, and yeah.
yeah, just to have it go overnight, literally.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. So for self-care, that's yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't think either of us have a long history of being very good at that, right? Because if you're good at self-care, neither of us would have gotten into the health situation, especially with weight that we were in. Um,
yeah,
yeah. And 54 and feeling great. I love that. That's awesome. Both are encouraging me not to give up. Oh, I'm so glad. Like I I think that's one reason why I really am happy that we're meeting every week, because this is just life, right? Life throws us
yes,
these balls, and what do we do as moms and as daughters when it's our mom, right? We
mm,
sacrifice ourselves. And, I had years of doing that. And I was taking care of my kids when they were teenagers at the same time that my parents were elderly, and their health was failing. So I totally get it. when you finally did get to the point where you were learning how to take care of yourself, what types of things did you prioritize?
Well, yeah, it was that it took my mum passing away for me to just sort of, yeah, I fell into a bit of a slump. And then I don't know, I wanted to change things, but I struggled. That comfort eating, I was like I was eating to fill the void that my mum had left.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. And yeah, I have no idea what happened to me on my 50th birthday. Something just snapped in my head. And then it was like, I'm going to go keto. Tried that for 6 months and failed. Went on to carnivore and still struggled. And it wasn't until I met Emily and Raymond in SBG gang that they kind of helped me work through my issues, telling me it was okay to eat, because I was always restrict everything, calories in, calories out. You've got to do heaps of exercise. Well, that way I couldn't do it. I was in pain. Everything was too hard. And they gave me permission to eat. They gave me permission to not exercise. Take it one day at a time. Just take it slow. Listen to my body. When my body feels safe and when I'm got rid of the cravings. The priming was a big part of the start of my journey, just getting rid of those cravings, resetting my hormones, nourishing my 800-pound body. I was so malnourished because I was
Right,
eating the crap. There was no nourishment in the food I was eating. So
right.
when you say that, people laugh at you. Think, how can you be malnourished at 800 pounds? It's
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
I know,
It's
I know. I used to have even some family members that would kind of tease me a little bit about, because I was they wouldn't think that I was malnourished for sure. And
yeah,
we assume someone who's morbidly obese that they can't possibly be malnourished. But if we were
yeah.
malnourished, we'd be healthy. I mean, if we were nourished, we'd be healthy.
Yeah. And even today, like I struggle to do carnivore because I do have a lap band restriction. So eating meat, especially when I'm stressed, it just does not go down. So I end up throwing most of my meals up, which is it's a
Mm,
shame. I hate it. And which means I'm not getting a lot of nutrition. I'm not getting a lot of food because I'm throwing up all the time. And then I can't eat for several hours until everything kind of settles
right.
down. So obviously I'm eating at a deficit because I'm not keeping food down, yet my weight has stalled.
Mm,
I've had increased my exercise, but that's everything stopped. So I'm doing exercise, I'm not eating because nothing's going down. So
mm.
I've put on a little bit of weight, I've got fluid back in my body. Everything's going wrong. So calories in, calories out. It ain't working. It's not
Right,
working for me. I'm
right.
not getting sleep because I'm stressed. So
Yeah,
many things going in my life. So my body does not feel safe. So it's retaining everything. I've got the inflammation. My edema's coming back because I'm not resting. I'm not lying down a lot. I'm on my feet all day helping my daughter, stressing out about things, appointments here and there and everywhere. So I'm completely out of whack right now.
yeah.
And so all of that stuff that they tell you, exercise, reduce your food intake, does not work.
Right,
Um, so yeah, this
right.
week things are kind of settling down. My daughter's taking it really well. She's keeping very independent. So now's the time for me to get myself back on track and to really knuckle down, prioritize my rest, start eating properly again. I have been off plan because we're going out a lot and then just I'm not eating the cleanest options anymore because we're
Yeah.
out and about. So I'm normally I'm cooking at home and I don't like cold meat, and then nothing stays down. So it's been a really crappy last 2 weeks, to be honest.
And are you
Um,
seeing any improvement in your ability to keep the food down, or are you still struggling
I'm
with
still struggling.
you're still struggling
Yeah,
with that?
yeah. So I've got some, just got some Scotch fillet steaks. They've been in the fridge for a while, and I've put them in the oven and threw them in a slow cooker. So I'm just going to cook them up for the next couple of hours, and tonight they'll be nice and tender, like really pull apart. And I'll just pop it in a mug, and there's heaps of broth in there. I'm just going to drink that.
Yeah,
I can't eat a piece of steak. Just big pieces of meat just get stuck.
yeah,
I've been having my egg cooladas like before
okay,
bed. Anything heavy I cannot eat, so just having that. So that's getting a little bit of egg into me, a bit of nutrition that way. And I'm even considering doing a sardine. sort of a lot of sardines, maybe every second day or something like that, because I just pop them in the saucepan with a bit of tallow, mix it all up, and I even keep the juices in it, so it's really runny. It's like eating baby food,
Yeah. Well,
you
now will
know,
that stay down?
and that will stay down. If I eat that slowly, then I eat it straight away, it stays down.
Okay.
But, just the big chunks of meat, like, I could just wanna sit down and eat a piece of steak, and I
Yeah,
can't get it down. It's disheartening, yeah.
yeah. Well, I
But
mean,
that
I feel like I would even say maybe don't exercise
mm,
until you get to the point where you're back nourishing yourself. I mean,
yeah,
because you've got like what energy are you giving yourself? What in order to exert, right? It's just taking
yeah,
everything you can just to go about your day.
yeah,
Um, now, and let me just kind of catch up on a couple comments here. So, Jazzy Juice, my brother, 63, became legally blind 3 years ago. So I get it. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that.
mm,
So that is rough. So I want to Everly and Friends. I want to emotionally eat junk so bad right now. Just put my 36-year-old son out of my house once again due to serious drug use. I fell asleep screaming, crying today. Now I want sugar. He weighs 450. Tell you that tough love. I've had to kick my son out of the house. He's not 36. He's going to be 30, but I've same situation. And so I think, resist, definitely hope you can resist, try to eat some meat, some do like Bella does, try to even chomp on a stick of butter, unsalted butter. For me, our broth is good, right?
yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do because it is easy to fall into those, the comfort eating patterns. That's how
Yeah,
I survived, and that's how I got to 800 pounds because it was
yeah,
comfort eating, filling that void, that just those few minutes that you eat that thing, like, I don't even taste the things that I eat. I literally just eat it. It's that habit of eating to feel good while you're eating it. As soon as it's finished, you're thinking, "Okay, now what do I do?" Like, your problems haven't gone away, then you
and
feel
then you feel
guilt.
guilty,
You
right?
feel guilt on top of that, and it just compounds it, and then you feel like a failure. It's like, "Okay, I'll start again tomorrow. I'll start again Monday." And that just continues, and I've learnt so many tools through SBG Gang, following the carnivore, YouTubers, influencers. They all have some great advice, and I know how good I feel when I'm strict, when I'm
Yeah,
on track. So I just have to keep reminding myself, what is my why? Well, my why was my daughter's. Now my daughter needs me. I
yeah,
cannot afford to go back to how I was. I can't just keep
right.
spiraling backwards because she needs me now.
Can you imagine if this
And
had happened 3 years ago?
I would not have been able to help her.
Right.
So it was a blessing that I found Carnival when I did. She now needs me, and I'm in a position where I can help her. So I can't afford to let
Yeah,
myself fall into those habits again that got me to where I was. And I could just see that's happening, but thankfully I've got all the tools that I need, and it isn't a roller coaster, and it's mind games. It is so easy just to just turn to the sugars, turn to the carbs, my
right.
comfort foods, sit on the couch, wallow in my pity. It's not
Yeah,
going to help my daughter. It's not going to
right.
help me. It's just I can't afford to go there. And so every day I wake up, it's a new day. And I just got to think positive thoughts. And I just have to, like, okay, what am I going to do? And I have to keep my goals very small. Like, I jumped on my vibration plate this morning. I'm so happy I did that because
Good.
I haven't been able to do it every morning. I've been up at 4 o'clock going out, and yes, I took my daughter to the airport because my other daughter went to Queensland, and then I was at my other daughter's till, like, late last night, just with appointments and stuff. So I just haven't had time to do just even the vibration plate, which I absolutely love doing. So the fact I got up this morning and I jumped on that vibration plate was like, okay, tick for the day. I started on a good note. So
Good.
that's my goal. Every morning, vibration plate. And then I'll try and add something else and just escalate it
Yeah.
slowly, but not put too much pressure on myself all at
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, absolutely. We
Yeah,
have to show ourselves grace. And for really with your son, like I said, I can relate. And I know that it's bad when you feel like you're in this situation. Like I know myself, I felt like, what did I do wrong as a parent to end up with
yeah,
a situation like this with your son? And but you're doing the right thing by just kind of tapping into the community, and where we can offer you support, encouragement, and you know you can do this. And I mean, I know that when I was going through this situation with my son, I was not eating carnivore, and so yeah, I did tons of emotional eating. It didn't help him, and it didn't help me. It just made me feel like even more of a failure, you know
yeah.
but
And when
yeah,
your kids are that old, they make their own decisions. You
yeah,
can't control them. My daughter's 33. I want her to go strict carnivore. It's the best way she can heal her eyes because I've heard so many testimonials and like, I can't do carnivore.
yeah,
Yeah, she did it for a little while and she had so many benefits from it. But now she's more keto. But as of the last couple of days now, she started to focus more on meat and cut out the carbs altogether. So she's getting there, but
good,
it's something that she's now starting to do. Like before that, like she had done this in February, maybe she would have been in a better different place right now. Maybe she would be seeing, she wouldn't have had all that damage. But you
yeah,
can't control your kids. You can't control your friends. You can't control your family.
no,
What you can control is you and putting the right foods in your mouth, looking after your body, prioritizing your rest, doing a bit of movement if you can. You can control all of that. So hold on to that
right,
control because everything in your life is just going to keep spiraling and roller
right.
coasting around
You
you.
never know what the next curveball is going to be. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, what we can control is what we put in our mouth, and not giving into the cravings when the emotions kick in, and choosing something else to do, whether it's
And
for some
yeah,
people it is exercise. Some people, when they're really stressed out, they exercise like crazy. I always wished I was like that.
me too.
I
Yeah.
I never could. It was always emotional eating for me. So Jazzy Jude says, I had a lap band too, have had to have emergency surgery to remove it because I couldn't eat, much less swallow water. Now I'm dealing with throat. Yeah, Barrett's esophagus. Yeah, I was a gastroenterology nurse, so I totally know what Barrett's esophagus is. Um, it can get better, and they sometimes they have to go in and do some procedure, to kind of ablation type procedure. But yeah, you want to take care of your esophagus, that's for sure. That's what I would, when I was working in GI, I would have patients who'd had gastric bypass surgeries or lap band, and that was always the biggest thing, is that they couldn't get their reflux under control.
Mm.
And I wish that the bariatric surgeons would tell people that this could be a huge issue and put you at risk for esophageal cancer, which is a terrible cancer to have. So, yeah, would not recommend anybody get that surgery if they can. you know. So meat is healing me. Yay. Oh, but meat gets stuck. So,
Yeah.
well, hopefully over time that's, you may just chew and take small bites, and, I, you know, I feel like at some point we're going to look back and see how barbaric we were to ourselves in this area. In fact, my husband was just telling me this morning that he read an article about a doctor who's like, doctors are prescribing Ozempic for 6-year-old kids.
Oh,
Read something
geez.
about a doctor that prescribing for a 6-year-old little girl Ozempic. It's like, what are we doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, how can that be safe? Yeah, I mean, the lap band was supposed to cure me. It was going to fix all my problems. That was 27 years ago, and here I am. I finally found something that is
Yeah,
working, and I'm struggling because of that surgery. And it's too
yeah.
late. I'm too scared to even think about having it removed because what if they do more damage? Going in there, there's probably a lot of scar tissue in there. What if they puncture my stomach or whatever? I don't know how it all
I mean,
works, but
it's a scary prospect, just a surgery
yeah.
and reversal surgery or something like that. Um, yeah, you never know what's going to happen. Now, have you actually gone and talked to a surgeon about like
No,
the risks are, maybe someday it
no.
might be worth at least having a consultation. And
I just don't trust. I don't trust.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But look at all the
So,
great support. See, you are a lot stronger than you think. We got this. That's right. Everly, we can only control me. That's right. Absolutely. Mom is 86 and is biggest enabler, and she's angry at me. So it's always a double whammy. Yeah. No, I get it. You don't understand if you don't live with the person, and you gotta draw some boundaries with the people, your kids, right? Your adult kids,
yeah.
and you're doing what's healthy for you. It's unfortunate. It's sad that, we have kids that are making these types of decisions, but you have to take care of yourself. And this is where self-care, so I never had reflex. Yeah, probably silent reflex, because yeah, that's like a third of people out there will have silent reflex, meaning they don't experience the symptoms. And then you have an upper endoscopy, and then there's, damage to the esophagus, and don't even realize it's happening. So, but so self-care, yeah. I've been doing pretty good.
Mhm.
And I think that my conversation with Rose last week was really helpful. Um, I'm definitely finding the videos to be harder than the ones that we did with the Get Fit with Rick channel.
Yeah,
The
'cause there's a
walking
lot more arm movement and stuff in these ones too, isn't there?
there's
So,
yeah, there's more, and the arm
yeah.
movement's okay, although I've lost confidence in her counting, to be honest, because she'll say 5 more, and then we're like 15 later, and like, "You said 5." You know? But I've tried a couple that are kind of fast. Like, I like to sort when I go to a channel, I like to sort by popular and, see what the popular videos are. And so I've tried some that are faster, and oh my gosh, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
You know, I tried one the other day that was fast, and I couldn't finish it because it was so fast. So I still have a long ways to go when it comes to my fitness. But I'm doing the resistance bands with my arms. I'm doing the Wim Hof. Have you been doing any of the Wim Hof breathing?
I did this morning on the vibration plate. So while I was standing there, I was doing it and it felt really, really good. So I think I'm going to do it while I'm on the vibration plate because I just sort of have to tighten my core and do all of that. And it just felt so good. So I think I just don't feel comfortable doing it lying down. And then when I'm in here, my mind's buzzing. I've got so many things to do and running around.
Yeah.
But I think that might be my time vibration plate, Wim Hof at the same time. And I've now moved my vibration plate. So I'm actually staring outside the window
Oh,
and it was beautiful blue sky. The sun was shining on my face. I'm standing there. I closed my eyes, Wim Hof breathing, sun in my face. And it was just beautiful. So I think that's going to be my new routine now because I really enjoyed that. So that's made a difference, positioning and enjoying
yeah.
that position. So
That's good.
yeah.
I feel like the Wim Hof breathing, although I'm not doing it every day, but I'm doing it often enough that I feel like it's helping. And I feel like it gives my autonomic system a little bit of a reset, or it definitely seems like it improves my autonomic system. I last week, now this is the thing with being on the carnivore diet after a period of time, you're still seeing all these results. I start to go, I think I can eat more than or more variety of things than I've been able to eat before. And I'm not adding back non-carnivore things, but well, other than coffee, I just can't stay away from coffee if my life depended on it, even though I feel better off of it. I don't know what's wrong with me. But because I had spent so long on the lion diet and making sure everything was low histamine, I'm tolerating higher histamine carnivore foods better now.
Mhm.
And it used to be that I just really couldn't do them at all. But I get to a point, I think last week I overdid it. Like, I can do bacon and whole eggs now, but I have to be careful that I don't do it too frequently. And I was doing cheese, and then we got this Ninja Creamy, and because Dave was really craving Dr. Kiltz's ice cream. And
Okay.
we had bought an ice cream maker that did not work well at all. And so we were in Costco, and he saw this Ninja Creamy, and he said, let's buy it. And so it comes with these three pint containers.
Yeah.
And so last week I made all three of them twice during the week. And so I ended up having like two of
Mhm.
the six, maybe two and a half of the six myself. And like for me, I made mine like coffee flavor. It just pretty much stick with coffee flavor. And but that's a lot of cream, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so along with that, and drinking more coffee and having bacon and eggs and some of the higher histamine foods, my autonomic nervous system doesn't respond well. And I was having my orthostatic intolerance was getting worse. And so I've like said, okay, I got to remind myself, I got to do, first of all, quit doing all that, kind of rein it in with the
Yeah.
food. And then the Wim Hof breathing just seems to reset my autonomic nervous system, because I was having outright like dizzy spells last week. And yeah, so like, do we ever learn?
No, I actually bought myself a Ninja Creamy as well, and it's still sitting in the box on the kitchen table because I thought I'm going to do a video and pull it out. And I don't do dairy because of I find it inflames my body.
Yeah.
With the edema and all that. So I stay away from dairy. But what I wanted to do is try my coladas in there, my egg
Oh yeah.
colada. So
Yeah.
that's just, but I have no idea how it's going to turn out because I don't know if you need the cream to make it into that ice cream consistency or whether I
There's
noticed
a
on the box.
recipe. There's a recipe book in the box, and
Okay,
yeah,
right.
so you can refer to it for like the technique and stuff of and ratios of
Yeah.
ingredients and
So that's my hope that I can create something that does not use dairy that I
yeah,
can, because that'll be really easy for me to eat as well. Having some kind of like, especially at nighttime, I love drinking my hot colada, but with summer coming on, it'll be nice to have something a bit more cold, like colder. And yeah, if I can then try and get some steak into me and do that early on in the day and then have something really light at night. That
yeah,
could
you can make
go.
all sorts of stuff with it, and I've only done the ice cream so far, and of course, it's carnivore ice cream.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and Dave's loving it. He can have dairy without any problems.
Yeah, it's not fair, is it?
He's not fair at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
not fair at all. So, all right, so let's see. So we've got, so happy to have my lap band removed. Oh, yes, I bet. Now I can physically eat and have no food stuck. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, Everly. I'm 62 and definitely am so angry at the ones responsible for the whole anti-fat rage. Amen to that. So
Yeah.
agree. Mom's generation, nobody was fat. They also still ate meat. I'm not losing rapidly, but my pain is better. Excellent. And
Yeah.
yeah,
The weight will come off, just concentrate on the healing, the fact that you don't have as much pain, that is such a huge win,
yes.
and the rest will follow. I mean, for me, it took me 50 years to get to my weight, and, I have lost a lot of weight in 2 years, 8 months, but I've still got a long way to go, but there's
Yeah.
no rush. We'll get there
Yeah.
slowly.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, even in our generation when we were younger, no one was fat. I mean, you're 62, but I'm 56 and Lindy's 53, so we're not that far behind you. And yeah, no one was fat when we were growing up. And
Oh, my family was. We're
well, your
Italians.
family. Okay. Well, so you were the one, right? Do you know why? Do you have a theory as to why? Because as you were going through school and everything, were pretty much everyone else thin,
Oh,
slender?
for sure. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were a big family. And the funny thing is, like, my grandparents are Italian, so we're an Italian family. We had a lot of pastas and things, but the Italian family in Italy, they're all slim.
Mm,
So why is it my family here in Australia? And I'm thinking, we're eating pastas and all the same things, but they're making their sauce from scratch over there. We didn't do that. We used the bottles, the stuff off the shelf. Things, they were busy. They had a
yeah.
fish and chip shop at the time. Like I wasn't around when they had that, but it was a bit lazier, the cooking. So they're buying the processed sauces and things off the shelf, and it was quick and easy. So maybe it wasn't as clean as what they were doing over in
Yeah.
Italy, where they are making things from scratch. So maybe that's the difference. And then they also prioritize rest. They have a sleep in the afternoon. The school would
Maybe their
finish early.
cortisol levels are much lower than ours.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
my grandparents, they were scrimping and saving. They had jars of money for the bills, and they worked very, very hard. So
Yeah.
it was just a different lifestyle, very stress, fast paced. The food, plenty of it, was always in abundance. And also, I think with us, when they went through the war when they were kids, they really they struggled. They were very poor, so they didn't want us to go through that. So as their grandkids or whatever, they just wanted to feed us. Here, have this. Don't go without, because they went without as kids. So it was whenever we were sad or whatever. Look, here's a chocolate, and their secret stash would
Yeah.
come out and give us little treats. And I guess that's where it was all done in love, because they went without
Right.
when they were children, and they wanted to give us everything. And
Well, and they
unfortunately, that
probably
gave
weren't
us.
thinking about, that it's gonna make you gain weight.
Oh, no,
'Cause, I mean,
no,
I don't know if people really had to think about that much back then. I mean.
no. It was all done in love, not because they
Mhm.
wanted us to gain weight, just because they didn't want us to be without. They spoilt us.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, it did set us all up for bad habits, which
Yeah.
it was very hard to break. But
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, my I didn't eat a whole lot as a kid. My parents both, were older. I mean, they were in their early 40s when they had me, and so they went through the Great Depression, and my dad was a World War II veteran, and but they never really lost the Depression era portion sizes with the food that we ate. And we didn't have a lot of money growing up. So
yeah.
we had to, like, we shopped at the commissary and the military bases, and my mom would go once a month and she'd buy all the food for the month. And it was always, the same thing. And the portion sizes I grew up with were so small. In fact, so many times I was hungry at school. And it was just a kind of a different mentality too, because I never even thought to ask for more food. There was just an understanding that I took what I was offered and what I was given, and I made do with it, you know? And so, yeah, it's definitely different now. So let's see. So not many kids were fat in my school, but around the 80s, people blew up, including me. I was 118 at 5'8". That's thin, thin, thin. When I married at 21, now 305. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's really thin. You must have a small frame, because I'm 5'8", and with my frame, I looked really thin at about 140 pounds. And when I was in high school, I was maybe got up to like 150 pounds, but I remember I had gone on a diet in high school, which I should never have done, but I got to about 140 pounds, and my dad actually told me I looked too thin, and he was worried about me. So
Uh,
it's like I kind of wish I had listened, but so yeah, made it home. That was, yeah. Yes. Hey, Josephine, good to
Hi,
see
Josephine.
you. Yeah, absolutely. Life was totally different back in the 60s, 70s. Everything was homemade and we were always outside. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
We weren't on devices back then, right?
exactly.
Super active kids. Yeah. So for this week, okay, so this is the end of the second week with doing this particular channel, which is called Walking Home. Uh, Link in the description.
Mhm.
Um, do you do you feel like you're going to be able to try to do anything this week, or do you want to just set little smaller goals for yourself? Like, what are your thoughts?
I am definitely gonna try. I'm having the weekend off. I'm actually getting over a bit of a cold as well at the
Mm,
moment. So, I'm
rest.
gonna just rest up this weekend. So,
Okay.
I'm just gonna potter around the house. I'm gonna keep moving, but just sort of around the house, do spring cleaning some cupboards. There's a bit of blue sky, try and get out in the back garden and ground a little bit. So I'm just going to really take it easy this weekend, try and get rid of this cold. And then I think there's a few appointments next week, but they're sort of later in the day. So I'm definitely going to keep up with my vibration plate.
Yeah.
And maybe on the days that I don't have anything, I'm going to try and do some walking. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'll be able to do the videos. I might try just on the treadmill or even just try and do a walk around the block. But yeah, I just
And if,
think the workout videos are a little bit too much for me at the moment
well,
with
and,
my
and,
headspace.
and if you decide to try it and you can't finish it, then don't.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's where like I'll push myself to where I'm like, I've got to finish this. If I don't finish it, I'm going to be letting myself down.
yeah.
But I don't think I need, and Rose is definitely helping me with this mindset. I just need to start and consider, for me, some starting is a victory.
Yeah, and that's why I don't wanna say, "I'm gonna do it every day," because I know that's gonna be fail for me. If
Yeah.
I do it, that's a big tick, it's a win, and that'll be huge. So I'm just gonna get up in the morning and play it by ear, see how I feel. I'm not gonna dilly-dally around and be gentle with myself. I have to push myself a little bit,
Yeah.
but whether that means going outside, hopping on a treadmill, or doing those workout videos, I'm just gonna have to find my feet and
I mean, your
see where I
rebounder.
land.
You got your
And
rebounder too.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's in the other room now. I'm in the process of trying to find a workout area. I used to have it all in my bedroom, and I find my husband, he puts things in front of it, or he hangs his clothes over it, and then when I look at it and I'm like, "That's my rebounder." I need to do things and his crap is in the way, and so that throws me off. So then I moved it all into I've got a room next door to this office, but it's between my office and my daughter's bedroom. And when she sleeps in, I don't feel like jumping on the rebounder because I'll wake her, everything, I'm noisy. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work either. So now I'm contemplating rearranging my garage and making Todd's inspired me from his little workout
Yeah,
garage that he's done. Maybe I can like have half of a car in half of it, and in the other half, I can set up a bit of a workout area. I can do whatever I like. My husband does not use the garage. He
oh, there you go.
doesn't use to have tools or anything like that. So that can be my woman's cave. I can have that set up. It's got my car in there, have a garage, my workout
Yeah,
area. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. And then I can go out there. It's private. I don't have to wake up my daughter. My husband's not going to hang his crap everywhere. And, I can stick some motivational stuff on the wall. I can do whatever I like. And
right.
it's my space. So I'm thinking that might be the way to go. And if I've got a place, like it's like even your desk, you come and you sit down and things are here because my husband drops things. It's like, this is my private place. I don't want anybody near it.
Yeah,
It throws me off. But if it's the same as you left it, then you feel happy and content and it keeps you motivated. So I think
yeah,
having a proper space, a dedicated space that is totally mine and I can put a radio on, put some music on, or take my iPad in and do my little videos. I think
yeah,
that will just make me want to do it then.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, definitely. And for me, I'm still, I'm still working on just the starting thing because I mean, like Rose and I talked about, the motivation comes once you get started, like because I tend to wait for the motivation.
Mm.
I could be waiting forever. Yeah. And so, she just kind of reminded me of that. Like, okay, if the motivation will come after you actually get started with doing a little bit of exercise. So, all right. So, Jazzy Jude, I've temporarily, okay, set a goal to start walking September 1st. I love all those emojis. I literally hate walking, but I need to start it. And it'll be a huge difference towards my commitment. I guess my
Yeah.
question is why September 1st? Is there something significant, or is it just kind of psychologically it's easier to kind of like a cutoff, you know? So it's kind of like, and definitely don't, start September 1st, but I definitely encourage you to maybe try a little bit before then, you know.
Yeah, so
I
work your way up, and then maybe on the first, it'll start that motivation will kick in, and it will
Yeah,
be continuous. So, yeah, get in early, maybe.
and,
Yeah.
and we had so much fun doing the Get Fit with Rick videos, and even maybe if you like music, maybe throw on one of those and just challenge yourself to do like a 5 minute and just and see if you can kind of maybe start doing it ahead of time and work up to it. I used to kind of walk just around my house, like in the
Mm,
inside of the house, because like it would be wintertime. And
yeah.
I would just create this little circuit in and out of the different rooms and the open spaces and kind of walk around the house. And I do that. And it's amazing how stuff like that is it's so simple and it's easy to do and you just stop when you feel like it. And it's like it's more than I would have done otherwise.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'm really lucky because my daughter's now working at a wildlife park, and I get being mum, I get free membership to go in anytime I want. So, and it's a beautiful walking track. I can walk around. So I walk in, I grab a bunch of food, and I can go and hand feed the kangaroos.
I love
And so,
that.
but I've got to go right to the end of the park because that's where all the kangaroos sit. And then I just stand there and I hand feed all these kangaroos. But it gives me that extra walkout. So every week that is a mission. So I normally go at the end of the day when my daughter finishes work, and then we both walk up to this park together. So it's right at the end of the wildlife park, feed the kangaroos, and then we've got to walk all the way back. And
That's
that's
awesome.
a lot more than I used to ever do. So that's been our sort of weekly little thing.
Okay, Eminem gets you moving. Awesome. Whatever it takes. Absolutely. I music to me is super like makes me want to move. And so, whatever music you like listening to, put it on and get moving. I turn on some music when I'm like cleaning the house or, other things like that. It definitely gets me moving.
Maybe we
Yeah,
should
the
set up a
Usher
Spotify
syndrome.
playlist
Yeah, no, yeah. I have
of
the Usher
workout.
syndrome, hearing and vision impairment, so it scares me oh, yeah, I know you can relate to that, right? Tunnel vision and partial depth perception. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you got to do what's safe, you know, absolutely. So I totally understand that. And so maybe a rebounder is a good thing with a bar. Like,
You may need the bar. I still
yeah,
haven't got one, so yeah, I
yeah,
need to
I've got,
get one.
yeah, mine has the bar and I definitely use it. Absolutely. Oh, okay, it's going to start with the dread mill. Is that a typo or is that the way you call it?
It can be a treadmill some
I,
mornings.
yeah, I totally relate to that for
It's
sure.
like, "Oh," yeah.
That's
But
funny.
then you always feel great after you've jumped on it. It's just that initial, and I think if you lie in bed for too long, you hit that snooze button a few too many times, it's like that motivation does go. So you need to, like, as soon as you wake up, get up. And it's that 5-second rule. Before you have those doubts come into your head, you do the action and then it gets you going.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm learning to do find little moments where I can get little bits of exercise in, like especially strength, like my countertop push-ups. That,
Yes.
it's like just it only takes 20 seconds and if that. And it's
Yes.
something that I wouldn't have done. And that's definitely helping. Yes, it's right, treadmill. Yeah. Yeah, I that we my parents had a rowing machine when I was growing up in the house, and I would rather do the treadmill than the rowing machine. That thing was man, that takes every muscle of your body to do the rower because I mean, have you ever been on a rowing machine before?
No, isn't that what Dr. Sean Baker uses? And he's like a world record champion in a rowing
Oh,
machine.
is
I
it?
think I think
Maybe.
so. I think he does a rowing machine.
Oh yeah, my husband says yes. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like literally you're rowing and the seat moves back and forth, and so you're pushing with your legs and rowing, and your whole body, your back is into it, and it's hard. It's absolutely
Yeah.
hard. So yeah, so I don't know. I guess and nowadays they have those little, oh, she loves the rowing machine. See, we're all different, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I have, and I was not out of shape necessarily, and I was not overweight as a teenager, and I still found it hard. But okay, so maybe I was more out of shape than I gave myself credit for because I was a real book nerd. I was this like a really good student, and so maybe I was a little more out of shape than I thought I was. Absolutely love Shy Sharon. Absolutely love my rebound. I started at about the same time as Carnivore, February. Haven't missed a day. Awesome. That's so
Fantastic.
great.
Yeah.
Now, do you actually catch air or do you just do gentle bounces or do you kind of do the marching? Like, I can't catch air because I can kind of if I have an empty bladder. But if I don't empty my bladder ahead of time, oh, that's not good. It gives me a little bit too much of a jolt. So I started channel months ago, last chance carnivore, but I stopped
Okay.
because I wasn't losing it. I just didn't want to discourage. Oh, well, you know what? Here's my thoughts, right? I think that people relate to the struggles of others. And I've heard people say, okay, well, some people pretend like that it's been no problem. Now, most of the people I know don't. Like we share like what our struggles are, but I think that it's really good to have a channel out there because we need to share realistically like what it takes and show too that it's not going to be exactly the same journey for everybody, you
Mm,
know, and everybody has their specific, pace that things go at and they have their own struggles and everyone's family situation is different, right? Not everybody has support within their family.
yeah. And it's a huge emotional struggle too. Like, I've lost a lot of weight very quickly, but it's been a struggle every day to keep myself on track. I mean, you do get that food freedom and all that, but yeah, with all the outside influences, they really get you down and you're constantly having to talk to yourself. And I do my channel more for accountability as well.
Yeah, me too.
I failed 2 weeks of this challenge, and here I am still sitting here with Lynn telling you all that I couldn't do it. Life got in the way. I'm feeling down. I'm really
Yeah,
struggling with self-care and motivation at the moment, and you guys are helping to keep my spirits up and like, "I can do this. I will get back on track." So, it
yeah,
helps you being accountable and having a supportive community around you. That's what keeps me going too.
yeah.
Keeps me on track.
It helps
Mm,
me too. And, you know, because fitness is not our thing. It's something that we're trying to make it
no.
more our thing, but it's not our thing. So maybe some of the struggles that we deal with are maybe different than someone else who's having fitness challenges. Like I can't do so many of the fitness challenges out there. I'm just not at the level where I can even try to do them. And so I'm glad that we're doing the ones that we're doing because it's like it's at my level, you know.
Yeah, and I think we're choosing things that it doesn't matter what level you are, you can always escalate
Yeah.
it and do the harder versions of what we're doing, so it can sort of cater for anyone and everyone, and
Mhm.
hopefully one day our fitness levels will improve and we can be up there with doing the harder stuff, but,
Yeah.
we'll get there eventually.
Right.
It's
The key is not to quit and not give up on ourselves. And even when there's tough weeks like you've had,
yeah.
keep the accountability going. And, it's brave that you can put yourself out there and be just completely transparent and say, hey, I've been failing the challenge lately,
Mm,
but that's okay. So it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So I do hit four
that's
times a
it.
week. Awesome. Do you have a
Wow.
particular video that you follow or let us know? Catch air.
Your
Basically,
feet leave the mat.
the feet off of the little trampoline or just because I don't rarely.
Yeah, I do. I call it a healing bounce. My feet stay firmly planted on the mat. And because I
Right.
don't have the handlebar, if I was to catch air, like I would probably flip it over and do all sorts of weird things.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't be pretty.
I tried to do a challenge where I failed with, filming myself more than I failed with doing the challenge, but I wanted to try to actually get like in the air like 100 times by the end of the month, like in a row. And I think I was fine. I was able to do it. But yeah, my physical therapist initially told me, don't even try to get off of the trampoline, just do gentle bouncing. You kind of have to work up to it. But, you know, if you
But
can
why?
do
Yeah,
it,
you need to. What's your why as well? Why do you want to catch it? Like, why do you want to do it? Is it for physical thing? Is it for weight loss? Is there a reason why you want to do that? Just do what works for you and what's going
yeah.
to get you to your goals. Bit of movement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning about the rebounder. I heard that if you can get off, it actually stimulates more of your lymphatic system, and there's certain things that it does for your body on a cellular level that, if you don't catch air, you don't necessarily get as much of a benefit.
Mhm.
But I'm okay with just doing the gentle bouncing right now.
Yeah.
Is, again, the bladder. Yes, I love having a 56-year-old bladder. It's delightful. So, let's see. Same as is closed chain, but I have gotten air a lot. Okay, have a bar since I used to have balance issues and vertigo. That has improved so much. I put the bar to the back. Oh, cool. Check out Earth and Cowl at her Earth and Owl, not Cowl. So is that a rebounding? Um,
Yeah, it is. I've heard of it, their channel. I haven't actually seen it, but someone did
okay,
recommend Earth and Owl as well. I've heard that a few
okay. I'll have
times.
to check them out.
Mm.
Oh, your name's Lynn too. Nice.
Hi, Lynn.
Very good. So Jazzy D's been doing daily Instagram stories. Put your channel in it. Put your Instagram
Yes,
in
I'll definitely
the
kind of follow.
yeah, so we can check it out. That's awesome. You mean those jumpy things? Oh, sorry. Yes. The mini trampoline is what they used to be called. And I had to get educated by my viewers that it's called a rebounder. I didn't know. So no more bladder issues since doing it. Yeah, I think my bladder, it does help with the bladder. I think the Wim Hof breathing too helps with bladder as well, especially if the bladder's an autonomic issue with,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
been fine with my bladder. I've been very lucky. So,
Oh, yeah. So you guys have an
yeah.
iron bladder. Nice. That's good. Well, with my mast cell, yeah, with mast cell activation syndrome, which is, what I have, it can affect every part of your body and it can affect your bladder. And I think my bladder has improved since my mast cell disease has improved being on carnivore. It used to be so bad. I could not make it to the bathroom in time so many times. And like I mentioned when I share my story, that there were times where my bladder would just release its contents. And
Yeah.
it was just
Mm.
absolutely mortifying. And especially if it happened when I was out in public. And yeah, so that is definitely better. And but yeah, and so I'm a little cautious still when it comes to
Yeah.
my bladder, you know, but it is what it is. So, okay. Well, we have been going almost an hour here. It's funny too because so many times I feel like, are we going to talk for an hour when we have even like been struggling? It almost seems like the more we struggle, the more we talk,
Yeah.
you
Well, it
know?
resonates with everyone. I think we're all been there. We have good intentions of this is going to be the best week and we're going to hit all our goals, and then something happens that
Yeah,
throws you for a sixer. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah.
But if we can do more than we would have done otherwise, if we weren't
Yes.
holding each other accountable, then that's definitely a step in the right direction for sure.
Yeah.
So awesome. Okay. Well, we're going into week 3. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can get through one of those faster paced workouts on her channel and see if I can do it. Oh my goodness. So, let's see. Think if I do an update video. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. My problem is medication overpowers the benefit of decreased appetite. Medication.
I'm not sure what that means.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's medication that's causing you to have challenges on the carnivore diet? That would be my explanation. Would be my understanding. So, yeah. I mean, it sounds like there's some confounding factors that are making it a little more challenging. And hopefully these are some things that, I mean, I guess my question would be, do you have a supportive doctor who can maybe, hopefully, whatever you're on, maybe you can even get a chance to wean off of it if you can do really well with the carnivore diet. So I don't know what you're on, but so many people are able to, with their doctor's help, get off of medication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I've recently gotten off my thyroid medication just as a trial. My husband just sneezed. God bless you, hun. But yeah, we just decided to do with my naturopathic doctor. He did a new thyroid panel and then said, okay, when you do the blood test, stop your thyroid medication. So I've gotten off quite a bit of medication being on carnivore diet. So
I'm hoping to lose my thyroid medication one day, but yeah, they just upped my dose again, so
I'm taking
maybe it's
iodine.
a permanent thing.
Yeah, I'm
Are
taking
you?
iodine. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking 25 milligrams of iodoral, but I may need to take more. I've got the iodine, the clearance urine test, and I just haven't done it yet. I mean, I've had it for
Mhm.
like going on 3 months now, I think, and I haven't done
Yeah.
it. So I need to get that done because I don't know if I'm taking enough of the iodine, if I'm getting my levels up where it needs to be.
Yeah, that's
So,
why I heard the sardines are really good for, for, thyroid. That's why I thought if I do, like, sardines every second day or something,
yeah.
that might just give me a bit of a boost. I thought I'd
Yeah,
take
because of
the,
my histamine issues, I have not been able to do any fish that's in tins or canned meat
right.
because of the histamine. Thank you so much, Jazzy Jude. Appreciate that. So, oh, the medications make you hungry. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. But I guess if they make you hungry, then just you got to eat carnivore foods and don't try to do restrictive eating. Restrictive eating is not helpful when it comes to carnivore, you know.
Mm.
So, okay. Yes, I agree. Do you have a YouTube? Is your YouTube channel called Everly and Friends? Oh, that's right. She said that already. Last Chance Carnivore. Awesome. Okay, yeah. So go check out Last Chance Carnivore. Give her, Lynn is her name. Give Lynn your support. I love that. Thank you for a wonderful evening of support. I did not realize I needed this. Oh, that means so much. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
I feel the same way. And that there was support we get from you guys who are joining in and, you know, participating in the live chat is really, really helpful. So we've got this. We can do this together,
We can.
and if it's little baby steps, we can do this. So awesome. Okay, very good. Well, we will be back next Friday, and hopefully I will double check when I actually create the stream and make sure that the date and time is correct, but hopefully it'll be correct for you this night time around and no confusion. Yes, every Friday.
Yeah, or Saturday if you're in Australia.
Yeah, so I'm in the United States. I'm in Washington State. So I'm on Pacific time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and Lindy is in Melbourne, Australia. So it's 10:30 a.m. Saturday her time.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we do everything we can, and if we can't this week, we just lay it all out there. You know?
exactly. Yeah, but
Awesome.
positive week. We'll have a good
Yeah.
week this week.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Well, bye everybody, and we will
Thank you.
see you next